Hello and welcome. And tomorrow is the big day. Big day in Melbourne. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it doesn't rain. Cricket Cult will be live from Melbourne. We'll be giving you all the weather updates. I myself will be in Melbourne. Uh, and you can join us. You can join us on our Insta Live Cricket Cult official. It's India versus Pakistan. So, Ashwin, assuming it's not going to rain, rain gods also want to watch India Pakistan. Let's let's do a preview.
Right. So the biggest game, and there is a lot of hopes and expectations from both sets of fans. Pakistan will hope that they win and show that their win against India last year wasn't a one-off. While Indian fans would want to get back to the winning ways in the ICC global tournaments against Pakistan. So it's going to be an enticing and very tantalizing affair. So without much further ado, let's get into the nitty-gritties of the game. So, what do you think the team batting first, team winning the toss would like to do?
So it's more, if the game happens, it will probably be a rain curtailed game. So that generally favors the chasing team. Anyways, both teams, the way they are set up, I think setting a target is uh, like it's a struggle for both these teams, and chasing is much easier, much less complicated. So I definitely feel that whoever wins the toss will bat will field first. And anyways, with the weather being around, the new ball will swing early on. So both teams have a great new ball attack, and they would look to take full advantage of the conditions in front of them.
Right. So, being a local Melbourne boy, you've stayed there for quite a while. How do you think? Do you think that swing bowling will be effective in such a scenario with rain around the?
More than that, I think it will be seaming, because let's not forget it's a drop in wicket. But still, with the weather being around, I think the ball will move a bit. Uh, I think Shami should enjoy. People like Shaheen will enjoy. Bhuvi will enjoy. People who make the ball talk. Arshdeep won't be a bad option. So even Naseem Shah will be really dangerous. He seams the ball, so he'll be very dangerous. But generally, unlike England, in Australia, when it's cold, it stops swinging. It's more to do with the wind, the easterly and the westerly. Um, so I don't know how much time they'll get to prepare the wicket, because it's been raining for the past 2 days also. Uh, so it could be anyone's game.
So, in case of a rail curtail match, let's assume it's an 8 or 10 over affair or 12 over affair. Who do you think will
So
start as the
lottery.
lottery?
You can't like three balls can change the course of the game in a 8 over game. So how can you predict that?
No, but in
Of
that case,
course,
who has a upper hand, India or Pakistan, in case of first rain curtail game?
I would say uh, India, because Pakistan doesn't have like out and out hitters in their team, right? So Babar and Rizwan are neutralized. As soon as it's an 8 over game, Babar and Rizwan are neutralized. So then when your biggest strength is neutralized, then what do you do? You know, so it will be an advantage India. But having said that, I stick to my guns. It will be a lottery, because uh, what if you know a Harshal Patel, if he plays, goes for 30 runs in his 2 overs, then
Right.
so it can go either way. It will just amplify India's weakness and India's strength, and vice versa. It will just amplify. So India's weakness is death bowling. All 8 overs will be just death bowling. So that will amplify India's weakness. But India's strength is also their top 4 or 5. So that also amplifies, because then you don't need a lower middle order. And Pakistan's weakness is slow run rate. So that will also amplify, because you need, like, from the get go, you need to hit something which they're not used to. Their team isn't built like that. Maybe a Fakar Zaman can open in that case. You know, uh, who knows?
So
So
in
it
case
can
of
go
such
either
a
way.
in case of such a scenario, What do you think India will go in with as a playing combination?
I think India should then they should probably they can afford to maybe rest Chahal. But I don't think that will happen. I think India's lineup will be pretty much the same. Maybe then Harshal gets a look in even in place of an Arshdeep or or a Bhuvi, or because everything is death bowling, and we've seen that Bhuvi isn't very comfortable with that. So then maybe you can have a Shami, Arshdeep, and a Harshal. Maybe I'm just trying to think. Even if India go with the same lineup as we discussed, I think they should be fine.
No Pant?
Uh, no, Pant can be a good idea actually, because that will then neutralize both Pakistan spinners, a leggy and a left arm spinner. But then, anyways, Karthik Forte is batting for only 4 overs. So, so then who do you drop? So, as I said, it's
Maybe drop
India can
KL.
play an extra bowler. Maybe India can play an Ashwin also, an extra bowler or someone, because you don't need more than 5 batsmen in 8 to 10 overs. But that's assuming it will be an 8 to 10 over game. It could be a complete washout also, and if miracle happens, it could be a 20 over game also. So let's analyze it like it's going to be a. Let's not focus on too much on an 8 over game,
Right. So
because once it starts raining, it won't stop, so it most probably, if we're lucky, we'll get a 15, 16, or a 20 over game, or we won't get a game at all.
okay. So in terms, let's assume it gets washed out. Which team do you think will be relieved and which team will rue the missed chance?
I think Pakistan will be the happier team. Obviously, like, if you ask them, they would want to play. But I think with the scenario and with the group that it is now, West Indies and Sri Lanka, neither of them are in this group. Sri Lanka has become B1, and now they'll be in the other group, and West Indies is knocked out. So, anyways, this group becomes so easy. There is no
Cut.
what happened.
A1, A Sri Lanka A group से qualify हुई है.
Ha,
A2.
ha. So now this group becomes easier anyways, because West Indies and Sri Lanka both haven't qualified. Sri Lanka have topped their group, so now they're anyways in Australia and England's group, and West Indies is also knocked out. So with in this group you have basically three contenders, and that is South Africa, India, and Pakistan. And if India and Pakistan if they share points, then for both teams the South Africa game becomes critical.
Right, right. So coming to the combination, the bowling combination, who do you think will be the seamers and the two spinners?
Uh, for me, I will go with Yuzi, Akhtar, Shami, Bhuvi, and Arshdeep. Yeah,
No Harshal
but
Patel.
it's, but then who will you replace him with?
I'm just asking, like, if you had to like choose
But I would love a Prasidh Krishna also, Avesh Khan also, Bumrah also, but you can only fit in three. So who do you replace him with is the question.
instead of Harshdeep, maybe a Harshal, or do you want to go in with a left arm
Um,
option?
but then, yeah, and plus both are doing equally badly in the death. So at least Arshdeep is a better new ball bowler.
Okay. And what do you think will be the Pakistani batting lineup? We more or less know their bowling lineup. Apart from Rizwan and Babar, I know we've discussed it in the SWAT.
Pakistan have made it really clear that there is the only set pattern is their top three. So now that Shan is, unfortunately, I think he's gone for some scans to the hospital. Anyways, I think Fakar would have come in at number three. So Shan might have done well as an opener, but he hasn't. I think he's not a T20 player, middle order T20 player. Let's be honest. So their top three will be fixed. Apart from that, it could be Shadab, Nawaz, Asif Ali, maybe not Asif Ali, or Khushdil if he plays, or some days it could be Iftikhar, or some days on some other days it could be Haider. So you know, who knows? But that's the method that they've adopted. I think, but I do get a feeling that if Fakar gets out, then you'll probably see a promotion for Nawaz.
Okay, this question has been doing the rounds on social media for a long time. Like one of the things is both the teams, India and Pakistan, have come into the T20 World Cup after having played quite grueling matches in their home conditions. India hosted Australia and South Africa, and Pakistan played an unprecedented seven-match T20 series against England, losing 4-3. Which team do you think is coming more with confidence and which could be facing the heat?
No, but then Pakistan also played a tri-series in New Zealand and won,
Yes,
which is
one.
also close to Australia. And India have been in Australia for 20 days now. So equally confident. They beat Australia at home. They won the tri-series in New Zealand.
Right, right, right.
And India also beat Australia in the warm-up games. But I still feel that uh, Pakistan is sort of peaking at the right time. With India, their flaws are their flaws. You know, with Pakistan, we say that their lower middle order is a flaw, but then you only need one of those five gambles to work for that to work. You know, but death over तो आपको हर मैच में डालना ही है ना.
Right,
तो वो थोड़ी सी ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम है. But of course, that can be made up with the incredible top five that we have.
right,
So it's too close to call. This is not a 75-25 game. This is at best a 51-49 game because of experience in playing in Australian conditions. I would give that 1% edge to India.
right. So now that we've discussed the Indian likely combination, Pakistan likely combination, and the weather, so what can fans expect if the game happens? What would be the ideal score that can be chased down or set on such a wicket in Melbourne?
I think anything over 160, 65 will be very hard to chase, especially because irrespective whether it rains or not, it will be cloudy. That we know for sure. So it will aid the new ball bowlers. We've already seen that, there is this, it's a fresh summer. It's not quite summer yet. The temperatures are high. It won't be easy. It won't be easy under lights. It might, it might amplify the swing. Um, so although both teams would like to chase, I don't think it will be easy to chase. In fact, I am predicting whoever, if it's a full 20 over game, okay, if it's a full 20 over game, I am predicting whoever wins the toss might end up losing the game because they might end up chasing and the team that's chasing might end up losing. That just think I could be completely wrong, but that's my call. Whoever wins the toss will lose the game. If
Right.
it's a full 20 over game. If it's a rain curtail game, then no, I can't guess.
One question personally, like how do you think the spinners could fare with the long and huge Australian boundaries? Do you think they could be
Yeah, that it will be very beneficial for someone like a UZ. Um, because anyways, Nawaz and Shadab and Aksar, all three are pretty flat generally in their line of attack. So uh, I don't think they will be that worried about the size of the boundary. But yes, Yuzi, because he's that type of a bowler, he likes to loop it up outside the off stump and challenges the batsman to take him on. He's got a big heart. So I think that will be in Yuzi Chair's favor.
right, right. So, any final thoughts before flying off to Australia and watching the World
Just
Cup?
hope for guys. Just pray that that doesn't rain. It's a what a waste if it rains. But we'll be there through the course of the World Cup till the final. Hopefully, if it rains off, it's an India Pakistan final in Melbourne. So let's see what happens. But I will give 1% edge to India. But it's a spooky this thing by me, and I might be completely wrong. If it's not a rain curtail game, and it's a full 20 over game, whoever wins the toss, and if they chase, they lose the game.
Right. So, with that, we'll call it quits over here. And thank you for joining us, Siddharth. And hope you have a very good journey and a safe one, and have a safe return
Thank
flight.
you.
All right.
And guys, one more thing, please subscribe to our channel because we'll be giving you live weather updates from 3-4 hours before the game from Melbourne. So stay tuned. I will do a live on Instagram, Cricket Card Official, and a YouTube live also. So to know exactly the exact weather, please subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to have that notification. And also we'll be tweeting it instantly. So follow us on Twitter at Cult Cricket. We'll also be writing instant blogs on our website. So do check out cricketcult.com. Thank you, Ashwin.